Hi, I'm Congressman Bera. It's day number 8 of a government shutdown. Look, nobody wins a government shutdown. Democrats don't win. Republicans don't win. The American people are the ones that lose. I've been here in Sacramento County for the last few days talking to folks. It impacts everyone. When I talk to small business owners, they're very worried about what's going to happen to their healthcare prices. They're barely struggling right now because of the impact of tariffs and things like that. Even 8th graders. We've got a classroom of 8th graders that saved up all year, raised money to go back to Washington, D.C., and now they find a lot of the institutions like the U.S. Capitol are closed down. Our office is working with them to do what they can. I was also talking to one of my neighbors who is about to go on vacation next week to visit our national parks. He's saying, are they going to be open or not? Let's end this government shutdown. Let's get back to the negotiating table, and let's talk and do what we should be doing for the American people. So, the reason why we're holding out on these healthcare tax credits is we know if they go away, Sacramento County residents could see up to 100% increase, a doubling of their premiums. Covered California is already sending out those notices, and that's why this is so important at a time where so many Sacramento County families are struggling to pay their rent, mortgage, put food on their table. To then get hit with that double whammy of these increases makes no sense. The last thing I would say is I rarely agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene, the representative from Georgia. She said it best. She said, Mike Johnson, it's time for us to negotiate because her own constituents are seeing a doubling of their premium increases. So come on, Speaker Johnson, let's get back to the negotiating table. Let's talk about this. Let's reopen government. Let's make sure our troops get their pay and salary increases, and let's get the government working again. I'm happy to take a couple questions.
What does this mean for the government employees right now that are out of a job?
I mean, the government employees, historically, we've always made sure government employees, if they were furloughed, would get their pay back. We're looking at and fighting against Donald Trump, who's threatened to lay off government employees. We think it actually is illegal based on a law that we passed back in 2019, which I would also say Speaker Mike Johnson and Majority Leader John Thune both voted for that law. So again, I don't think they're in a good position because the law is you can't lay off furloughed government workers.
In what ways do you expect to see this start impacting people's daily lives?
I mean, what we're going to see for federal workers, we're going to see immediately, around the middle of this year, our troops will not get their first salary. So one thing we've done in every other government shutdown that I've been in is we've always exempted and made sure our troops, the men and women that protect our country, would get their pay. We want to do that again. We're going to send a letter along with all of my Democratic colleagues to ask Speaker Johnson to call us back in session so we can at least make sure the troops get paid. We should make sure our border security gets paid and everyone else. Again, it's not fair to ask folks to show up at work and not get paid, which is why I'm not taking my federal salary either right now.
Do you have any expected societal impacts, like how it's going to affect this day-to-day?
Yeah, I mean, just day-to-day, you'll start to see folks that might be waiting for an IRS refund check or have a question for their VA benefits or Social Security benefits. Those calls are going to go unanswered. We're already seeing the impact that you're seeing on air traffic controllers. You're seeing the backup and delays in airplanes. Again, that's not a good thing at a time when we need more air traffic controllers. So let's actually get the government open. Let's get America working for folks again. And that requires Republicans to be willing to sit down and negotiate with us.